On a chilly evening, four close friends, Jack, Emily, Sarah, and Tom, decided to embark on a daring adventure. They had heard many mysterious stories about an abandoned house on the outskirts of town, where locals claimed it was haunted by the spirit of a young girl. The house had been deserted for years, with broken windows and moss-covered walls. Jack was the one who initiated the idea. He wanted to record the experience for his YouTube channel, where he often shared exciting videos. Emily, Jack's best friend, was always skeptical about ghost stories but didn't want to miss out on the adventure. Sarah, who craved thrills, promised to bring flashlights and a camera, while Tom, although scared, didn't want to be seen as a coward. When they arrived, the atmosphere felt heavy. Dark clouds gathered and the evening grew darker. They saw the large house with its front door nearly collapsed. Jack turned on his camera, started filming, and directed everyone. "Let's go inside and see what we find." Inside, everything was covered in dust. Old, broken furniture and faded portraits looked like silent witnesses of time. One portrait in particular caught their attention. It was a painting of a girl with sad eyes. Sarah pointed it out and felt a chill, but Jack laughed. "It's just a painting." As they ventured deeper into the house, strange things started happening. Sarah's flashlight flickered and then went out, plunging them into darkness. "It's fine. I just need to change the batteries," Sarah reassured them. But as she was fumbling for new batteries, they heard a whisper coming from a room at the end of the hallway. "I think we should leave," Tom said anxiously. But Jack, not wanting to miss any action, urged everyone to move toward the sound. They reached the room and the door creaked open by itself. Inside was a dark room filled with broken objects. The room had several mirrors reflecting distorted images of themselves. Among those reflections, a blurry figure appeared. The girl from the painting, now alive, her face filled with sorrow and her eyes deep and haunting. Jack tried to capture the scene on his camera, but it suddenly shut off. The girl stepped closer, reaching out as if pleading for help. "Help me," she whispered. The sound of her voice filled them with a deep, primal fear. Tom panicked and ran outside, shouting, "We need to get out of here now." Sarah and Jack followed, but as they turned to flee, the image of the girl still lingered, her sorrowful eyes watching them. They ran out of the house, too scared to look back. Once outside, the rain had begun to fall. They stood there, panting. "I can't believe that actually happened," Jack exclaimed, still in shock. "Was that girl real, or just our imagination?" Sarah asked. They decided to head to a nearby cafe to escape the rain and process what had happened. There, they began discussing the events. Jack pulled out his camera to review the footage, but to their surprise, the girl didn't appear on the video. Only eerie sounds were recorded. After returning home, they researched the house's history. Through old articles and documents, they discovered that the girl in the painting had disappeared many years ago. Her name was Mary, and her family had searched for her everywhere but never found her. Locals said that Mary had disappeared on a stormy night much like the one they had experienced, and her spirit still wandered the house waiting for someone to help her. Since that night, the group couldn't shake the eerie feeling that followed them. They often heard strange whispers late at night, and sometimes the image of the girl would appear in their dreams. Sarah and Tom vowed never to return to that house, while Jack felt a deep connection to the girl. He started looking into ways to help Mary's spirit find peace. A few months later, Jack decided to return to the house, this time with someone knowledgeable about the spiritual world. He wanted to perform a ritual to help Mary's spirit move on. When they entered the house, everything seemed calmer. But as the ritual began, a cold wind swept through the room, and suddenly, Mary's portrait fell to the ground and shattered. Jack sensed something was happening. They prayed and apologized for disturbing her. As the ritual ended, their flashlight flickered out. Then a gentle voice whispered in the wind, "Thank you." As they stepped outside, the sky had cleared. They felt a sense of relief, as though a burden had been lifted. Though they couldn't be sure if Mary's spirit was truly free, they felt they had done something meaningful. The house still stood, but now they felt Mary's presence was more peaceful. Whenever they looked at her portrait, they no longer saw sorrow, but only a sense of calm and gratitude. This story not only carries elements of horror, but also conveys a message about human connections and the idea of helping lost souls.